Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you begin your day.
A Sioux Falls man has a warning for car owners in the city. Make sure your doors are locked, and whatever you do, do not leave your keys in your vehicle. His Ford F-150 was stolen on May 15th.
We're hiding his identity because he believes the people who took his truck are dangerous. And on several occasions, he followed his own stolen truck, and the thieves may have seen him.
When you see the truck driving, it's one thing, but then when you see them speeding down 41st Street, 49th Street, Kiwanis, and at one point I tried to keep up with them and I was going faster than I was comfortable with, and they left me like I wasn't even moving.
After a frustrating 10 days, he got his truck back, but now without thousands of dollars in damage. The body shop considers the truck a biohazard. Chet has already waited weeks for the insurance company to sort things out. Sioux Falls police are searching for a suspect in a burglary.
Police say someone hid inside an employee bathroom in the East Side Target and waited for everyone to leave the store.
Took several items within the store. When they went to go exit with several bags of merchandise, the burglar alarm was then set off and they took off.
At this time, police do not have any leads or description. If you have any information on the theft, call police. A Pier man is facing more charges in connection to a standoff with law enforcement earlier this year. 5 new charges of aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer have been added against Henry Jacobson. This brings the total number of charges in the case to 13. Jacobson has pleaded not guilty to all the charges.
In March, the 52-year-old barricaded himself in a home on Spring Creek Drive. He later surrendered to law enforcement. A trial has been set for August 28th through September 1st.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Brian Karsten. Some rain to start the morning in parts of KELOLAND, Brian.
Yes, we've had showers and thunderstorms in the south central. Also, a few of these dotting the southeastern parts of KELOLAND. This is the radar review through 7 o'clock, and you can see the overnight rain. Most prevalent around Martin, Pine Ridge. We've had several cells developing there, and then some of this has wandered as far east as Yankton, for an example. The rain totals, a lot of the numbers aren't too big, but there are some exceptions. Custer, about 80 hundredths or close to that, and Pierre has recorded about 1/3 of an inch. Will we see some more? I do think we'll have additional scattered thunderstorms on radar. We'll peg Mobridge to Aberdeen as one spot. I would also say down in the south central, there's a severe weather risk. We'll talk about that and more coming up.
Thank you, Brian. An event was held last night by the Sioux Falls Child Care Collaborative to present findings from an 8-month study and present potential solutions.
Mayor Paul Tenhaken spoke at the meeting and says affordable child care is one of the most complicated issues in Sioux Falls, especially as the city grows. He says he looked through the report and says it highlights a number of challenges and what can be done.
It talks about things we can do at the local level. It talks about businesses and what the business community will have to do to help solve the challenges. Some state and federal opportunities, some nonprofit collaboration that needs to happen. So while everybody hopes there's just one silver bullet to help with child care, as I framed it tonight, it's a bunch of singles. There's no home runs to be found. It's just single after single that will help.
If you'd like to take a look at the full report, it's attached to this story on KELOLAND.com. New laws from this year's legislative session go into effect this weekend. House Bill 1137 reduces the state's sales tax from 4.5% to 4.2% and is expected to save taxpayers $104 million over the next year.
House Bill 1080 prohibits gender-affirming surgeries for minors, and House Bill 1017 allocates $341 million to the Department of Corrections to build a new Sioux Falls-based men's prison. Digital reporter Gracie Terrell has a list of notable bills that will be going into effect July 1 in a KELOLAND.com original. That's online right now.
The National Park Service has denied the request of the Department of Tourism to return to the former annual 4th of July fireworks celebration at Mount Rushmore.
The impact can affect not only those planning a visit to the National Memorial, but also those who live and work in neighboring towns.
People come and plan their vacation to the Black Hills for the time of 4th of July. There's a lot that they're taking into consideration about. We chose to spend 4th of July here because of this. And a lot of times it's we want to celebrate in a patriotic way.
Mount Rushmore National Memorial will still hold cultural celebration events and crafts this 4th of July. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather forecast here. Well, severe weather, a possibility for those in south central South Dakota, a big chunk of northern Nebraska, possibilities. We run some unstable air into parts of KELOLAND. I would say at this point, Sioux Falls, likely we'll see more of that just to the south if this develops. Now, the picture this morning, we've had the ongoing rains that are expected to dwindle. That process is underway right now. And then as we recharge things this afternoon, you're going to see temperatures well into the 80s where we're rain free. But then see how we can sprout some new scattered thunderstorms. We can put Aberdeen into that category. We can say Mobridge, around Pierre. Even look at the Rapid City area. There are some thunderstorm possibilities by 4 p.m. And I think right now that whatever is grouping here in the South Central, those will be the biggest storms, have the biggest energy potential. And then they'll try to pull probably near Yankton. The northern Nebraska side here could easily catch some of that stormy weather. Sioux Falls. Well, at this point, it looks to me like the heaviest will be south, but let's keep an eye on it nevertheless. And then whatever rain goes through northwest Iowa tonight, that may end up sweeping things eastward tomorrow. We talked yesterday about the timing on this. If we could hold out that instability a little longer, maybe we brew up some new storms, but those could easily fire east into Minnesota, it looks like Wednesday afternoon. And then after that, probably a little drier weather pattern for most of South Dakota on Thursday. The weekend, though, is still coming up, and, well, there's another shot at some storms around. At this point, Nebraska is most likely to receive a vast majority of that. Sioux Falls, we're just going to kind of tag that with a 20 to 30% chance. I still think mid-80s, but we're capped off from any major heat. That's the one thing about this pattern. As long as Nebraska and western South Dakota keep getting rain, it kind of halts that, excessive heat. So I would say Aberdeen, we're going to spend a lot of the days in the low to mid 80s. After the rain chance, the next 36 hours, then we're going to put that aside, and it looks a little drier for northeast South Dakota. And likewise, Pierre, you're kind of in the low to mid 80s, not too hot. Chance of rain, we like today. We would say probably again, maybe Friday. At this point, Rapid City, it could rain any one of these days here. So the Black Hills has been more active, and at least a chance of rain through Saturday. Check out the details online at KELOLAND.com.